Hello everybody, my name is Adam and this is How Do I? Today, I'm going to explain you how to pass the entrance examination at UBA. As you may know, the entrance examination is divided in three different stages. The first one will be the reading and comprehension. Then we will have the paraphrasing, and then we will have to face with the devil, the essay. The very first part, the reading and comprehension, will consist in an article, and you will be asked about it. First of all, I would recommend you to take into account three different points. The first one, here you will find a specific vocabulary on the topic. So, in supposing it's about economy, you will find phrases such as sky high or rock bottom or different expressions or specific words. Apart from that, you will have to look for keywords. Keywords are different specific words that will lead you to the correct answer. When answering, you choose between A and B are correct, for example, B and C, but not D are correct, for example, and one of the options usually is not stated. So this leads us to the very third point, which is the order. The answering order consists on answering first the one you think you know, and then once you have finished, start answering the ones that you believe they are not stated. So let's go to the very second part, which is the paraphrasing. So now let's talk about the paraphrasing part. In this one, you have to take into account three different points. The first one, there's a technique called inversion. The inversion means to change the word order and use the question order. So in this case, we use first the auxiliary and then we have the subject and after that the verb, just like in a question. The second technique that we have to use is the cleft and pseudo-cleft sentences. The former one is the one that starts with it, papa, plus that, and we join with the second idea. And the other one, the pseudo-cleft, are also known as WH cleft. And why? Because we can use not only what, but also who, when, where, which. That's why they are also known as WH clause. And last but not least, in fact, the hardest part of the paraphrasing will be the ones related to collocations. Collocations. In this case, there are certain prepositions that are strictly linked to some verbs, and if we change the preposition, we mean something completely different. And why these cases are the hardest one? Because there are a whole dictionary on collocations. So there are a bunch of them, which make it very, very difficult. But with some practice, it's like learning vocabulary. So with practice and reading, you will figure out the most common of them. So finally, we meet with the devil, the essay. In the essay, you have to put into practice everything you learned on theory, right? So there are different things we have to take into account, we have to consider. First of all, we should start by making a brainstorming. The brainstorming is just writing down the general ideas you will use to develop your essay. So I will strongly recommend you to start by doing this Just take a sheet of paper and start drafting your general ideas. Second, once we have finished doing our brainstorming, we have to move on to the introduction. In the introduction, we will state the general or broad ideas on what we will develop along the main body. So it is very important to start in the introduction using what we call as topic sentence, right? So the topic sentence is very important because there you will write everything related to the essay just condensed in one structure, in one sentence, right? Once we're finished with the introductory paragraph, we have to move on into the main body. Along the main body, we will develop in depth each one of the ideas we thought. And once we're finished, we have to move on into the conclusion. In the conclusion, we have to start with phrases such as, I believe, in my viewpoint, to summarize, to sum up, all things considered, or structures such as them. And it is very important in this part not to add any extra information that we haven't mentioned before. So in the conclusion, we have to paraphrase or rephrase the statement mentioned in the introduction. So, with that being said, I want to say thank you for watching my video, and if you need further help, just contact me, and apart from that, I will be uploading more videos on this. Thank you for watching. See you, folks.